guys, it's Janet back, and we are going to take a look at some amazing dies and a great punch. Throughout the catalog, I have talked to you and shown you bundles that work together. So you're going to see them labeled this way, and you'll see the word bundled savings. So these work together. Back in the back of the catalog, you're going to see those bundles again, kind of put back here all in one place, making them easy to find along with a new sample. But then you're also going to see individual different dies back here. Now, some of them were part of bundles in our old catalog. Some of them do have something that coordinates with them. And you will see coordinates with Amazing Silhouettes, page 72, okay? Coordinates with. So those are not the dies that we're going to be looking at. What we're going to be looking at are dies that I've been calling standalone dies. In other words, they're not part of a bundle, and they aren't necessarily designed to coordinate with a very specific stamp set. And you're going to see them all with an N on them. And instead of coordinating with, you're going to see the word "see these dies in use," okay? And so what you're looking for is you're looking for that red N, they're new. And instead of the words coordinates with, you're going to see the words "see these dies in use." So these are the dies that I'm going to be showcasing for you, and I think that they are amazing. For those of you who sometimes think to yourself, oh my gosh, I've already got a lot of stamps, these dies here that I'm going to be showing you are a great way to breathe some life and creativity and use back into those older stamps that have been sitting on your shelf, because you're going to have a new way of layering, you're going to have a new way of accenting them, and again, just making them look just a little bit different. So this set here is our deckled rectangles, and I haven't lined it up against all of our stitched rectangles yet. That is on my list, but I do know that some of them work because I layered a tag for the baby bag that I showed you earlier. Now, some of you are going to be able to date yourself in just a few minutes. Excuse me. If you have a pair of deckle scissors in your crafting studio, go ahead and say, I do, because I know that some of you do. I know years ago I had fancy edge scissors. Fisker made all kinds of fancy edge scissors, and I had a whole drawer. I probably had every style they ever made. And so you're going to get that deckle edge. And what that deckle edge looks like, can you see here on this piece of, let me see if I can flip this over and lay this. Can you see kind of that rough little edge? That's a deckle edge. So it's kind of torn, but not really torn. Kind of, you know, roughed up a little bit. That's what that looks like. So, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you have 8 rectangles there in the deckle edges. And we'll put those right there. Another fun one, we have these, they're called fancy frames. And it has 2 frames in it. So you're going to be able to frame a greeting, frame an image. Here, the same thing, frame a greeting, frame an image. And this one will actually cut a nice rectangle out for you. The shape that comes out of this one's a little odd. I don't know how I would end up using it. But we'll see. Who knows, right? So let me show you those 2 frames cut out. Can you see them here on the table? Look how pretty those are. Can you see this over top of a piece of designer paper and then just simply popping a greeting into the middle, or over a piece of just solid cardstock and then having your greeting? So you're going to have a lot of fun with these frames. And the one thing I didn't do, let's measure them here together and let's see what the size of them are. So they are approximately 4.5 inches by 3 inches. So you're definitely going to be able to layer them on cards, and being 3 inches across means that you're also going to be able to use them on slimline cards. So that's going to give us some added creativity on our slimline cards. So that's our fancy frames. I just want to put these away as I do this, kind of clean as you go, right? I need to do that more often in my studio. So this set here is called Designer Tags, and I use this one quite a bit today. This one has so much possibilities, guys. You saw the butterfly on one of the cards that I used. So you've just got these fun little elements, some little flowers. You've got these elements. You've got this tag here. This piece here, actually, if you're just using this and you want to turn it into a tag, this piece goes up in here, and then you're going to have that hole. to cut out. Okay, so that's what that piece is for. And you can cut a simple plain tag, or you can then go ahead and add this piece into the tag. So you're going to have this design. This does not cut out a piece. It's just going to give you that design on the inside of your tag. Creating a great embellishment for a card, but also you could easily put this on a gift and then put a greeting across the top of it. And it also then works and fits. You could kind of make it fit and make it work. Make it work like Tim Gunn says, right? This tag here actually has ribbon slots in it. So you're going to be able to run ribbon through it and hold it down on your card front, on your package. So you've got those ribbon fronts. And then this flower piece here does not cut out a piece. Okay, it doesn't have a cutting edge around the outside. Instead, it leaves an opening in your card, which means that you're going to have some fun peekaboos from behind. You're going to be able to add some contrast and get some different kind of layering going on by adding coloring behind just like that, or even creating some fun window cards. And here in this case, you can see how I created that tag with it. I'm just going to back that behind it. So just so that you know that that does not cut out the whole way. So that's definitely going to add some fun things to your card making, kind of a different look with just cutting and opening like that and then putting something behind it. So then another one, this one is a two-part one. I think this is the third one now that we've had in this style from Stampin' Up. The other two actually had stamps that went with them. In this case, there isn't a stamp. It's just simply the Twigs and Sprigs embossing folder and die. And so you have this large die here. After you emboss your Twigs and Sprigs, you're going to be able to put the die down. Get it going the right way, Janet. There we go. And you're going to be able to then cut out all of the little sprigs to use. Now you could simply use this as a great background, and it really is a fun background of greenery. But you can cut them out, and let me show you on this card right here. That's where the sprigs came from. On this card was from that Twigs and Sprigs. The little pink piece here is one of these tags, is this tag right here. Okay, so kind of mixing and matching those pieces, and that's what helped me create the element for that. Nope, I'm not going to use that little extra piece. Thank you though, Marilyn. No, I've got a really big wide table here, and trust me, I go over it real carefully at the end. Normally I have a little magnetic bowl that I keep handy as well too. Okay, who's been missing the stitch shapes, right? So let's take this one that Marilyn was warning me about. And we are going to put it exactly where it goes and put it on some tape that's part of that. So for those of you that have been missing our stitch shapes, we have something even better than the stitch shapes. Let me line these all up so that you can see all of the sizes. So we have squares. Woohoo! I am so excited to have squares. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, how hard is it to cut a paper into a square, right? But the reality is die cutting, and especially when you can have stitched lines, is so nice. The nice thing about these stitched pieces, so here you can see how I use the squares to create the package. You've got really nice close little, almost like dot marks. So they're little different stitch type lines for us. So, and then you're gonna have this banner piece. Let's see if I have one of them on a card here that I pulled. Well, I have the circle. I'll pull this back in because that's where the circle came from. So you've got the circle. So you've got these nice layering dies that you're going to be able to do so much for. These fit over so many greetings, and you actually saw these a lot today without maybe even realizing what it was that you were seeing. This die here, I didn't die cut any of them because it's pretty self-explanatory, with the exception of this one here again, only cuts a corner. It does not cut a piece out. If you look at it, there is no cutting edge here. So it's going to do the same thing that this rose does, leaving this gorgeous corner on your card. And then you have some fun pieces here again. This one is going to cut some beautiful hanging pieces. Let me turn it that way, so like a party. You've got a plant basket. You've got, you know, a little bit of a, 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 you know, the moon and the stars. You just got all kinds of fun pieces with this. And this one just totally intrigued me, which was why I picked it up. I just haven't die cut this one yet for you guys. And the same with this one. This makes giant sequins. And down here in Mardi Gras, down here in New Orleans, everything is about Mardi Gras. Everything's about costumes and getting decorated and festivals. There's always something going on every single weekend. And so I thought having these giant sequins and some of our metallic papers and things is going to aid me in some of those decorations and costume making. So just some fun dies there for us. Bringing in another one. This one is, I think, artistic additions. And so you have a frame here. You have this element with just lines, and then you have this floral piece. So let me show you at least two of them. The lines just add a fun element to your card. So you're going to have this really cool element to your card that now you'll be able to put your stamped image on. You're going to be able to start to build up and over. And look how fun. I love kind of lacy pieces like this because they layer into cards so well. You're going to be able to tuck them behind and really start to create that look and things like that. So this is going to be a really, really fun one for you to be able to start to add some fun to the backgrounds of your cards. Okay, let's set that one aside. You guys seeing some that you really like? This one, you guys actually saw this one quite a few times, but I'll bring it back in again. This is one that cuts and embosses. Look at all the detail that left on the cardstock. Sorry about my nails, guys. I've been playing with ink and stamps in between, so sorry about the ink and stuff. But anyway, you can see just all that detail. And when you look at these dies, you can see that. I mean, look at that, right? Look at this. Look at the detail. Lots and lots of detail there, guys. Here on this card, look at the oval. Look at the detail. That extra is so nice, guys, okay? And you've got some corner pieces that you're going to be able to use. This creates a great frame. Here is that frame used, okay? So, and then you've got like a library piece that would, you know, be a marker or something like that. And you cut out 4 corners at one time. You're going to take these and be able to cut out 4 corners for matting your photos. And just to show you those, I have a couple of others already cut. Let me just show you the detail on these corner pieces. And I bet I just cut these with a standard, you know, die cutting sandwich. And I bet if you shimmed it up a little bit, you'd get even more detail. Look at that. And then you can also take and use your blending brushes and brush over them and bring up some of the detail. And then I will show you some other fun ways to bring out some of the details in coming videos. So some fun ones with this one. This one I think is going to be extremely great addition and versatile, our fabulous frames. Now this one is addictive, guys. This one is just addictive. There's no other way to describe it. It is one big single piece. And what it does is it puts holes, aka polka dots, in your card. That is how I did this. And you've seen some other cards made with it today as well. But it is so, so fun, guys. You are going to love these dots. Okay, so fun. And definitely bigger, so you're gonna be able to completely cover a card. These are, yeah, I love these. I hope we see more and more single big dies like that. I think that they are just really, really cool. Fancy edges, we've had dies like this before, and again, we all know just how versatile they are. So you've got the 4 different ones. Don't judge, I haven't cleaned this out yet. I just die cut this for you guys. I used that gold, distressed gold paper. Isn't that gonna be pretty borders? So you've got 3 beautiful borders, or not even just borders, accent pieces. You'll be able to add some flowers in here. This also could be seaweed and work with some of our undersea elements. This one here also does not cut the whole way through. Okay, you've got 2 corner pieces, and they do not cut the whole way through. What you get, again, is something that's going to add some interest to your card. whether you go in the lower right corner or you turn it around and you put it in the left-hand side of the card. But you're going to have this cool visual interest. You can also, you know, cut some of the edges and just use chunks and sections of it as well to layer behind things. But I think that these are going to add a lot of fun to your card making. I know I was really, really excited about that. And there's that sweet little butterfly from the one that I showed you earlier. This is another one that's going to add all kinds of versatility and layering to your projects. This one is our brushed shapes. And I die cut it from our parakeet party. But you've got a heart, you've got a swish, a big kind of swirly O. You've got lines. That was a tag that went with the other one, but just to show you, and that's the other one. But just how they cut out. So you're going to have fun adding these as embellishments to your cards, guys. So lots of possibilities adding that three-dimensional look. You've got some circles and things, so you're going to have some fun with that. Okay, we're getting there. I'll save these two for that one for the end. This one here is called a Pretty Pop-Ups, and we've had something similar before, but I really wanted to show it to you because I didn't want people to buy it and then be really upset again that it does not cut out. It does not cut an oval. It does not cut a rectangle. It does not cut a big circle. Instead, what it does is it adds an element to your card front, and then you're able to pop these pieces up just a little bit, okay? So you're able to kind of get a little bit of dimension. And what I find with these personally is I kind of rough them up a little bit because I don't expect them to stay totally up when I'm mailing it, but I do rough them up and allow that to kind of come in from behind. I'll bend them and I'll poke them, kind of, you know, put them down, but then they don't always go back flat in, which is what you want. But it's going to give you some great elements. So I didn't want anybody to go, wait a minute, and miss the fact that they are what's called a pop-up die, okay? So that's another reason why I like to showcase these things for you guys, is because I think that some things you need to see before you buy, and sometimes, especially on the internet nowadays, it's just kind of hard to do that. So then this die, let me grab my catalog here for just a second, and where's the page? Where's our paper page? I don't have all the page numbers memorized yet, but I'm getting better. So this sweet page here, these sweet little treats, these are made with this die right here. So for those of you who like to do birthday favors, fun small little gifts and things, this is going to die cut and score. And one of the things that I find really helpful is to always have a bone folder and to take those score lines and just give them that little extra crease. Now I've not put this together, I'm doing this live, so if it looks like crazy by the time I get it all done, no judgy guys, okay? And so it's gonna be able to come around, and then we'll go ahead and you'll bring the, let's bring this up. But anyway, you get the idea. So it's got a crease mark here and a crease mark here, and you're just gonna follow it around folding it, and then you're gonna bring your pieces in. So we will have videos more detailed than that, but that's how those boxes were made inside of the catalog. And again, it cuts and scores. So pretty cool. And then this here is our mini envelope. And this envelope here is sized to easily hold a gift card, which is really fun. You can embellish it and put it on the front of a card. It fits easily on the inside of a card. And you've got some additional tag pieces and things that you can use to either, you know, attach to what it is that you want to pull out, to hold it closed, and to seal it. But again, just like the other one, it is scored. So let's go ahead real quickly and get our score lines here. And you've got your bottom flap, and you're going to put your flaps in, and you're going to bring this piece over, use your liquid glue or your tear and tape, and that quick and easy, you're going to have yourself a little envelope with some nice decorated edges, okay? And again, it is sized for a gift card. So you're going to be able to put your little gift cards down inside of that. And we'll set that aside. And then the last one is a punch. We have this single new punch. Decorated Circle, I think is the name of it. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. It is 2 3/8, and it's a great, great shape. A lot of fun. It's not a pure circle. We've got dies and things for that. So lots and lots of possibilities, guys, playing with these different dies. Here again, just gonna showcase these for you one more time so that you can see them. That's just the circle die, so this shows you here 2 of the elements from the stylish shapes. We've got, I only used half the tag and then layered 2 of the squares from that element. And this again was that fancy frame. So lots and lots of stuff, guys, lots of cool stuff. So we have one more video of product and then just a good night video. So I'll see you back here at 8 o'clock. Believe it or not, there's still more new stuff, guys. It's such an amazing catalog. See you in just a bit.